Okay, like you can see behind me, it's week 4. It's not week 4, I already completed week 4 of the Hack Reactor 19-week coding bootcamp. So this is my week 4 video. And just like the background says, Django. This week, this module is all about Django. Specifically this week 4, we did 2 Django projects. But let me reverse that. And before we did the first Django project of this week, we actually worked on a problem set, about 40 problems to work on just the HTML template layout for when you're doing the Django web framework. So I found that very tremendously helpful for just utilizing and understanding the proper formatting that goes into like doing for loops and if loops on an HTML template built in Django. And then that was Monday and Tuesday. And then on start of Wednesday was dedicated to completing a Django project in one day. Okay, I'm coming to you from where else? The office on a white night. Why do I say white night? Earbuds are white, shirt is white, background's white, but my computer background's not white. So I'm coming to you on a Tuesday, 9:30 in the evening time. Just want to give a quick update on how far along my first Django project. So I'm gonna go here in VS Code. And what I've done is I've added a second app. So the first app was a recipe app. The second app this time was an accounts app that allowed for taking into account like the sign up and the login and log out process. So that can actually be displayed here in my accounts app folder, which is very structured the same as the recipes app folder. And what I've done in my accounts is when I go to my views is where again where you're going to see like all the functions of your app itself. Boy, I probably should have not put this as a floating object because that's a bit distracting, huh? But I think that's cool. Red, I'm all for it, and the keyboard's red, so it makes sense. So in the views function, this is where, or the views folder, this is where I put like the function for sign up, the function for user login, and then just making sure I update the URL paths for log out, login, sign up. So by no means is my app perfect, or like the first Django project, part of the Hack Reactor, which is just building kind of like a recipe blog site. But let's go ahead, pull up the terminal, and let me show you where I'm at right now. So let's go ahead and run my server, and let's go ahead and go to my, let's go ahead and go to my local host or the port that's being in. So what I've added now is the addition of a log out. So I'm actually logged in right now. Let's go ahead and log out so you can see what's going on. So you have the ability now to sign up or log in. Let's do a sign up to see what this looks like. Now I'll just put random nonsense. Let's just do test. First name is test, last name is test. And I just want to show you one cool thing that I did with my code here itself is if I enter in 2 different passwords, because I have a password confirmation, I'll actually not be able to create that account, which is pretty cool. Password does not match. I actually have a typo, I put password does not match, but I added that effect in there. So let's just do 1, 2, 3 for the password, 1, 2, 3, create this account, boom, I'm in. Now you can see there's automatic generated text right there called hello test, because that's what I called the person. So that's pretty cool. You can log out, boom. And upon another update I did is I added the ingredients table so that, yeah, you update the ingredients in the admin or you create that aspect and boom, it gets displayed. So yeah, this is just a little bit of what I got going on. I also have an edit recipe that I still haven't completed. Need to do that. But yeah, that's where I'm kind of left off. And just to continually go forward here, on Wednesday, we're doing a 1-day build of another Django project. And then starting on Thursday, we're going to do a 2-day build out of a Django project. So that's what I got going on. And hopefully by next week, we're going to be in a different working environment. It seems that we got another apartment that we really like for working purposes and just use it as an office. So we're very excited about that. And yeah, following up on the next update for this week 4. So stay tuned, won't be in a white shirt. Thank you so much. And then Thursday and Friday is what's called Django 2-shot, meaning you have 2 days to complete a Django project where you're creating all these different types of view functions. You are creating models, classes, you're creating forms. When I'm saying creating is you're creating these files, and then you're creating either a class or a function, and you're importing it on this file or that file, or the modules, I should say, of the Python folders themselves, and then creating the templates, and then making sure you can link all of these files together so that they work in cohesion or in unison, so that your website, the backend portion, can flow. So we're not focusing on the front end right now. It's all backend oriented and making sure our URL patterns or our pathways have no errors. Like we're able to click through them and they can take you to where they've said they're going to take you. Like whether it's a login, log out, sign out, whether you want to create different forms. So in this case, it was the Django two-shot was creating like receipts, creating expense categories, creating accounts. And by the end of that second project, I really feel now I have a good grasp of Django. Certainly I'm still very young into my coding journey, into working with Django, being a Django developer. Nonetheless, I have a much better idea, a more deeper understanding of how the flow goes when a web browser sends a request to, in this case, the Django project, the Django web framework, and all the different levels that it passes through. And then once it hits the database in Django, sending a request back to the web browser so that the web browser can present the beautiful, lovely web page itself. So I went into more detail in my blog. If you have time and you're curious to know more about this program, the Hack Reactor, I do go into more detail on my blog for each week as far as like what I'm learning specifically. I give examples, and I also did a screencast video of just the 15 steps that I implemented for the Django two-shot program, so you can see exactly what all that entailed for doing the back end for that project. And this coming Monday and this following week is leading up to the first Module 1 exam, and I do believe on Monday, since this is a Saturday I'm recording this, on Monday there is a practice assessment. And then also following this week, we are also starting our Django project. It's for a grade. Solo. Wow. We're going to keep that in there because the reason I want to keep that in there is because I want to interweave a cultural fact of how it works here in Colombia. When you see somebody or hear somebody sneeze, you obviously first say salud, means like health, to your health. And then if they sneeze a second time, you'll say dinero, money. And if they sneeze a third time, well, you say amor, meaning I hope you have love. And if they sneeze a fourth time, well, that's up to your creativity. In this case, if my girlfriend or my suegra, I hear them sneeze 4 times, the 4th time, I will say after amor, I will say almendra, that's the name of the dog. So I'm saying good health or good thoughts for Amendra if you sneeze 4 times. So yeah, check out my blog if you want to know more of the details about what I'm learning exactly and document a little more. We also did some review of practice Python problems. I can say right now where I'm at, that's something I need to spend more time improving on, is just how to process, write my pseudocode, and how to attack a coding challenge when it comes to Python. And also in the future too, I know it'll be for JavaScript and other languages. I think that's just because it's a different way of myself having to think and problem solve. But that being said, like many things, through enough practice, through enough intention, through good habits, through a good system that I use for my own thought process, I'll be able to tackle it and achieve it. Boom! Love that, huh? This week, we found an office, new apartment, so you're gonna see that video right now. Be royal. So right now we're checking out another apartment that will be used as an office space. So let's see what it looks like. Póngase a luz. ¡Ay! Wow, that's actually a really big shower for here. Have to say. There's no. Oh. Otra oficina. Gracias, Bella.
Pero nosotros sí acá para poder aquí Wi-Fi, no te los dos.
Claro.
Sí.
Bueno, ustedes saben que con el de una llave que sí, nos va a dejar en 550.
Bueno, entonces, ¿cómo vamos a organizar?
¿Cómo es? Usted tiene un cuidado con propiedad. Hacemos un contrato y son 300 de depósito.
Pero eso es lo único que piden más que todos. Todos nos piden 200, pero bueno, no importa.
Entonces ya.
Nos lo van a dejar en 550.
Pero lo requiere para eso, para
Para
la oficina.
de 9 hasta 6.
Tengo que coordinar la cita contigo porque
¿Por qué no? ¿6 o 7? Oh, wow. That's my bad. And I'm back. So that's the video of the new place we are going to be moving in this week. As I'm filming this right now, my suegro, the father of my girlfriend, is there right now, waiting for the internet company to come by. And I guess the street that's located on doesn't have internet for that provider, so the internet company has to hook into another street nearby to move the cables, something along those lines. Let's just say I know it's going to take a long time, and at some point it'll get done. It's on mañana time. It is what it is. But I'm quite excited though, because that space will give us 3 individual offices. So there'll be an office for my girlfriend, there'll be an office for my suegro, and there'll be an office for me. So we'll all have our own 3 different sections. So I'm very stoked for that, and that'll allow me to just have more freedom, or just more opportunity to speak when I do calls with individuals, or just interacting with the Hack Reactor course itself, because the past couple weeks I've been really mindful and making sure, because myself and my girlfriend are working out of the same room a lot of times, and she just started a new job, and I really want her to be very productive and have a good grasp, and starting out really strong in her new position with Family Office Club as a project manager. So I'm really excited for her. But that being said, I just had to make sure I'm not making too much noise during my working hours, because she's on calls a lot. That being said, another thing that went on this week is did my second class for working on becoming baptized here in Santa Rosa De Cabal. And it's a whole very interesting process. Let's just say after the second class, my suegra and me, or my suegra is now looking for another option, another different class from a different, I guess, father in this case, to help with me becoming baptized, because that class was essentially, it takes 1 full year, and that is not doable from the standpoint that's very time intensive, and I'm not going to be in the country for an entire year straight. And we're also kind of looking for a deal in the sense that we're looking for like a 3-for-1, where I get baptized, confirmed, and one other thing. What is baptized, confirmed? There's something else for the price of one. Not that I'm not really paying for it, but I'm trying to remember what the other thing is. But the main thing is I'm gonna get baptized for a variety of reasons that I'll later on discuss more in detail. So take a note of that when you watch this again, that I'm share a little more about that process, and yeah, all that entails. And then also throw just like a little video here.
The view of the city? City town?
Very dark city, babe. I don't know.
It's not a city, it's a town.
View of the lovers. Hold your breath. Make a wish. Last night my girlfriend and me, we went to a concert here in Santa Rosa De Cabal from a musical group, artist group. I want to call them artistas. They're originally from Medellin. They've been famous, they've been well known for like the past 12 years, but they specialize in classic or reggaeton. Regardless though, you're just seeing a little footage of that. And the cool thing about that event is with my girlfriend, we were able to dance salsa, bachata, and merengue last night. And that was very fun. We were up until like 3:30 in the morning with myself and Val. It's not normally our hours. We're up. We usually go to bed by like 11:30 at the latest. So yeah, kind of threw off this morning. Still very productive this morning. Nonetheless, very grateful for the time and just experiencing a deeper level of the culture here. And I'm definitely getting more and more immersed with what are the famous cultural songs that are prevalent right now in Colombia. And also, they did play one of Shakira's. If you're familiar with Shakira, she's one of the most famous artists and probably one of the most famous people that comes from Colombia, that's Colombian in the world. And they played, I don't know the name of her song, but it's the most recent song that has to deal with her breakup with her ex-husband, Piqué. The only reason I know this stuff is because Val mentions this stuff a lot to me about Shakira. And a lot of, obviously for rightly so, a lot of Colombians follow Shakira. So that was week 4. I hope you enjoyed, because I definitely enjoyed my week, and every day is definitely a blessing. And I always like to say I am highly blessed and favored in my journey, where I'm at in life and where I'm going and what I'm doing. So I hope you are in the same space. And if not, just take some time, take a breath, write your thoughts down, take a step back, breathe, and you will figure it out. With that said, I'm signing off for now. Xander, peace, love, unity, respect, and as always, passion, mucho amor, paz. Nos vemos al próximo, and always, always appreciate your attention. Ciao, ciao, for now.